Hello, this is Ron Paul with your weekly update for Monday, November 18th. Last Thursday, the Senate Banking Committee held hearings on Janet Yellen's nomination as Federal Reserve Board Chairman. As expected, Ms. Yellen indicated that she would continue the Fed's quantitative easing policies, despite QE's failure to improve the economy. Coincidentally, 2 days before the Yellen hearings, Andrew Huszar, an ex-Fed official, publicly apologized to the American people for his role in QE. Mr. Huszar called QE, quote, the greatest backdoor Wall Street bailout of all time, quote, quote. As recently as 5 years ago, it would have been unheard of for a Wall Street insider and former Fed official to speak so bluntly about how the Fed acts as a reverse Robin Hood. But a quick glance at the latest unemployment numbers shows that QE is not benefiting the average American. It is increasingly obvious that the Fed's post-2008 policies of bailouts, money printing, and bond buying benefited the big banks and the politically connected investment firms. QE is such a blatant example of crony capitalism that it makes Solyndra look like a shining example of a pure free market. It would be a mistake to think that QE is the first time the Fed policies have benefited the well-to-do at the expense of the average American. The Fed's policies have always benefited crony capitalists and big-spending politicians at the expense of the average American. By manipulating the money supply and the interest rate, Federal Reserve policies create inflation and thereby erode the value of the currency. Since the Federal Reserve opened its doors 100 years ago, the dollar has lost over 95% of its purchasing power. That's right. Today you need $23.70 to buy what $1 bought in 1913. As pointed out by the economists of the Austrian school, the creation of new money does not impact everyone equally. The well-connected benefit from inflation as they receive the newly created money first before general prices increase have spread through the economy. It is obviously then that the middle and working class Americans are hardest hit by the rising level of prices. Congress also benefits from the devaluation of the currency as it allows them to increase welfare and warfare spending without directly taxing the people. Instead, the increase is only felt via the hidden inflation tax. I've often said that the inflation tax is one of the worst taxes because it is hidden and because it is regressive. Of course, there is a limit to how long the Fed can facilitate big government spending without causing an economic crisis. Far from promoting a sound economy for all, the Federal Reserve is the main cause of the boom and bust economy as well as the leading facilitator of big government and crony capitalism. Fortunately, in recent years, more Americans have become aware of how the Fed is impacting their lives. These Americans have joined efforts to educate their fellow citizens on the dangers of the Federal Reserve and have joined efforts to bring transparency to the Federal Reserve by passing the Audit the Fed bill. Auditing the Fed is an excellent first step toward restoring a monetary policy that works for the benefit of the American people, not the special interest. Another important step is to repeal legal tender laws that restrict the ability of the people to use the currency of their choice. This would allow Americans to protect themselves from the effects of the Fed's policies. Auditing and ending the Fed and allowing Americans to use the currency of their choice must be a priority for anyone serious about restoring peace, prosperity, and liberty. Thanks for calling this update. A new update is placed on this number, 888-322-1414, every Sunday. The written text can be found on my free foundation website at www.the-free-foundation.org on my Facebook page. Thanks for calling.